So this is a very quick workbench, or I should say coffee table update. I've been quite busy and managed to finish off a number of projects. So I've managed to finish off the two Hobbyboss F-16s. I've also managed to finish off a Revell 1 in 72 Tornado. Now, the Air Force I'm building is completely imaginary. It's called the Oilums. These are What If Wargaming Army. NATO backed, NATO sponsored. I've also, in my loft, I've got loads of stuff in my loft. Kits that I've not built and kits that I have built and just couldn't find a use for. And I've managed to finish these two NH90s and the two EUROCOPTER TIgres. So I originally got two EUROCOPTER TIgres, and then I kind of went off them because I read lots of bad reports about them in service. Same with the NH90. I got two of those and a couple of the naval variants. So I've actually made them into Oilum helicopters. They've got the Oilum green national markings, and they go with the TIgres, who give them close support. The Oilums, of course, have Cobras as well, AH-1Ws. So here are the two Hobbyboss F-16s with added 3D printed resin crews. They've come out really nicely. Really pleased with them. Now, I've got an Italeri one just for comparison, and I'll talk about some of the differences between them now. So the Hobbyboss kit builds nicely. There is one kind of issue, which I will say, between this and the Italeri one. And that is that the Hobbyboss ROM really lends itself to being built gear down. I think you'd struggle to build it gear up. So I've built both of mine gear down and then put the magnets on so that they can still participate in the war game. It doesn't come with targeting pods or weapons. So these are all Hasegawa targeting pods, weapons and jamming pods. We've got a guided cluster bomb unit there. We've got ECM and a AGM-154, a couple of AIM-9Xs and a couple of AIM-120s. So a very nice kit, but gear down really. The single-seater is also a really nice kit. This is the Thunderbirds boxing, which is exactly the same as the C model boxing, but I found it available for a lot less. We've got two JDAMs, £500, and we've got a rocket pod, and this is, believe it or not, a actual weapons load that I found on the internet. So they are my 5th and 6th F-16 for the Oilums, and then I made this Tornado from Revell. Absolutely lovely kit. This is the GR.1 kit in 1 in 72nd. This kit goes together extremely well, and I've done it wheels up, and it's got two Storm Shadow missiles, and this is giving the Oilums some punch. I've got two more Tornadoes on the workbench right now, and this is the Italeri F-16. Now, I wanted to sort of show you this and then show the Hobbyboss one. Now, the Hobbyboss ones seem to have these larger exhaust nozzles, and there are two engine options on the F-16, so I'm not sure if that's why. The Italeri one also, you couldn't do the cockpit open on this because it's completely the wrong shape for an open cockpit, whereas the Hobbyboss one has the right F-16 cockpit shape, but it is gear down. So I would say if you want a gear down cockpit up F-16 1 in 72nd and don't want to pay the price for the Tamiya one, go for the Hobbyboss. But if you want one with the canopy closed, wheels up, the Italeri is still a good model. So going back to the workbench, we have another Tornado here, which I've done with a refueling pod. And then we've got one with a laser guided bomb and two anti-radiation missiles. I've also finished off another F5E TIgre, sort of in the Saudi scheme. Again, this is a made-up Air Force. And then we've got a Chinook or CH-47D and the two S&S model Chieftains just awaiting weathering. So I hope you've enjoyed this quick workbench update. I've not yet put the decals on these two Tornadoes, so I'll be finishing them off. And then I'm trying to secure F-16 number 7 and 8. There you go. Take care. Have a good time.